Judge Judy. Ms. Pishney, where exactly did you leave the title and the keys? Beneath the floor mat on the driver's side seat. Judge Judy. And after that, where did you go? I went to work. I had a shift that day. Judge Judy. A standard work day? 9 to 5? Yes. Judge Judy. So you contacted him earlier that morning? No. Actually, I had spoken with him maybe a week before that. We arranged a time for him to come collect the vehicle. That's why I left the title and keys inside the car. Judge Judy. So the two of you had this planned about a week in advance? More or less, yes. Judge Judy. All right, Mr. Meyer. Yes, Your Honor. Judge Judy. And your position is that he took the car but never paid for it. You signed over the title, left the keys, and expected payment that never came. That's why you're both here today. All right, Mr. Meyer. Maybe you can give me a version of events that sounds a little more believable than what I've heard so far. Would you like me to start before I pick the car up? There's some history leading into all of this. Judge Judy. Is that history actually important? I believe it is, Your Honor. Judge Judy. Go ahead. Well, around 2 years before Judge E. Judy. Oh no, we are not going back 2 years. Laughter, quiet. If you want, I can speed through it. Judge Judy. Don't speed through anything. Just get to the relevant part. Okay. Well, when I went to pick the vehicle up, Judge Judy. Number. Before you picked IT up, I read your response, and your story starts earlier than that. Did she contact you about getting rid of a car? Twice, actually. Judge Judy. Let's talk about the first time. When was that? Honestly, I remember because I never expected this situation to end up in court. Judge Judy. What year? Judge Judy. So back in 2014, she called you about selling a car. What vehicle was it? A 1996 Volkswagen Passat. Judge Judy. The same car we're talking about now? Yes. Judge Judy. All right. What did she say to you? She told me she needed to get rid of the car. Judge Judy. Just that? She needed it gone, pretty much. I didn't ask questions at first. I assumed Judge Judy. Assumed what? I assumed she intended to sell it. But when I arrived to pick it up, I noticed the title still hadn't been transferred out of the previous owner's name. Your Honor, that's because I had only recently received the title myself. And the reason it hadn't been transferred earlier was because on Father's Day in 2014, she was stopped with alcohol on her breath. That violated her probation, and because of that, the breathalyzer device connected to the vehicle was disabled. Judge Judy. That's what you mentioned in your written statement. You claim she had a court-mandated device in her car because of prior driving offenses. Correct. Judge Judy. So she was required to have that device installed in order to legally operate the vehicle? Basically, yes. It functioned like a restricted driving permit. Judge Judy. She had to blow into the device before the car would start. And if alcohol was detected, the engine wouldn't turn over. Is that accurate? Yes. Judge Judy. That's how it worked? Yes, Your Honor. Judge Judy. All right. Now, Miss Pishney, when you purchased this car, were you legally allowed to register it without that device installed? Yes. Judge Judy. You could register it without it? Yes. But after that, I would have needed to have the equipment installed. You can't install it until you actually own the vehicle first. Judge Judy. Of course. You buy the car first, then install the device before driving IT? Correct. Judge Judy. Now, according to your testimony, you purchased this vehicle in July and kept IT for about 2 months. During that time, did you ever have the breathalyzer installed? Number. Judge Judy. There we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. That means you weren't legally allowed to drive the car because the required device wasn't in IT. That's true. But the process takes time. There's paperwork involved. It can take 6 weeks or more before everything gets approved and installed. Judge Judy. Ms. Pishney, so far, you and I are not exactly connecting here.